What is Gumbo? So Gumbo is a not-for-profit collective of indie devs who want to work next to each other and help each other out. So it's both a nonprofit and this space where we come to get work done on our games. So I am Whalefood Games. My role is, my roles are CEO, CTO, secretary, and janitor. So I've got a lot of roles in my company. Actually says that on my business card. And yeah, we recently released a game this year called Kungfu Kickball, which is out now on Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, and Steam, and actually come into arcades as well. Sure, so Kungfu Kickball is a team-based fighting sports game where the best ball kicker wins. You gotta punch, kick, and headbutt your way across the field to smash the ball into your opponent's bell and rack up points. Plays kind of like a cross between Smash Brothers and Rocket League. Well, I was actually going to a lot of game events here in New York. This is like pre-pandemic, and I noticed that these multiplayer games were just like a lot of fun to show off because people go to these events with their friends and they're like kind of want something to play together, to like, yell at each other with. So I was like, okay, I want to make a multiplayer game that'd be fun to show. And what multiplayer games do I really enjoy? Well, really like Smash back in college, and had been recently playing Rocket League. So I was like, see if I can combine those two, and it kind of worked out. I founded Gumbo. I'm one of the founders. But it kind of started because of Playcrafting, actually. So I know you found us because of Play NYC, which is also organized by Playcrafting. But they used to have a kind of a thing called the Games Fellowship, I think it was called, in which they placed indie devs at companies that had extra desk space. And that's how I met some other indie devs. Eventually that shut down, but we were like, oh, we like working next to each other. Let's actually get an office together. So then we actually got just a single office. It was just 4 of us in this one office. It was actually in another building down the street in a green desk. But then met more indie dev friends. They wanted to join, so they got the office next door and the office next to that. And then actually because of the pandemic, and real estate prices came down, so we were actually able to get finally a real space and found ourselves as a nonprofit. So that's all kind of recent. It's been incredible. I'd lived in a number of cities before New York. I was in Boston for a time, San Francisco for a bit, and they all have interesting game development scenes, but it wasn't until, here in New York where I found this real community of other indie devs kind of doing it on their own or in small teams. And so having that base community to come to has been really helpful in helping me release games and just learning so much. And it's just, it's kind of like back in college, but you actually get work done. We're not like officially associated with each other in any way, but we are like friends in a way. So, a lot of Gumbo members met through Playcrafting events. Like as I said, Gumbo was kind of founded because of Playcrafting, so we definitely owe them a lot. But we're not really like, and we're friends with founders and stuff, but we're not like connected in any way. For sure. Definitely helped me stay focused. Gives me a place to go to work outside of home. I was working remotely even pre-pandemic, and I realized that I just don't work that well at home. I need like another space to go to. So having that's also where other indie devs are making their own games has been really helpful for that. It's a good place to be like a solo or small team developer. There aren't that many bigger companies around here. Pretty much the only kind of bigger one, well, we got like Rockstar in Manhattan, but it's one of the smaller offices, I think. And then there's Avalanche in Jersey, I think. But so in terms of bigger industry, maybe not the best place, but if you're like doing your own thing, it's great because, Brooklyn kind of, it's like this marriage of like the tech and the art. And so you got these like people kind of like me who are doing a lot of different things, don't really fit into the industry very well, but do fit in the Brooklyn vibe. For sure. We have different events where we interact. We have this happy hour that happens every month where we kind of hang out. But then we also have like playtest nights where we can playtest each other's games. Sometimes we have Scrumbo, which is where we try to like do a scrum for each other. Even though we're each working individually, we can still like try and hold each other accountable for tasks and things like that. So lots of things we try to organize to help each other. Sure. So, one I mentioned was playtest night, which is very useful when you're developing a game. You definitely want to get playtesters in there early to see how people actually react to your game. You can be playing your own game for a long time and kind of become blind to certain aspects of it. So to get other people to play it can really be eye-opening. And then the mixer is just kind of a hangout, get to know each other kind of thing. And trying to think of any other events. And then, recently we had Unity sponsor an event, so that was cool to have people from Unity come here, check out the space, and give a little talk about what they're doing. So yeah, we can help us all in that way. I guess this isn't so much a story, but kind of funny, is when we first got this space, it was just this room. There wasn't that second room. But then we got more and more interest. People wanted to join, and luckily the room over there was empty. So we worked out with the landlord to get that room as well. And then we got them okay that we could take sledgehammers and knock a hole in the wall. So we made that hole and then painted it over. And that was pretty fun. We have like video and photos and stuff from that event. So that was good. The best part of working at Gumbo is working next to other people working on games. I feel like for a lot of game devs, they can work at home in the room alone, but for me, I tend to get distracted very easily like that. So definitely to have a workspace separate from your home, like relaxed space, and where you can also, if you run into an issue, you can poke your buddy next door and be like, hey, have you seen this issue in Unity before? And they can be like, oh yeah, it's this thing, so that's definitely for me the best part.
You say there's like a good camaraderie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sure, you can follow me on Twitter at Whalefood Games, and then check out my game Kungfu Kickball. It's kungfukickball.com if you want to see a trailer of that. And yeah.
And Gumbo?
Oh, and Gumbo is, what is the Gumbo social media? I should know these things. I think it's Gumbo NYC on Twitter and Instagram and things like that. And then Gumbo.nyc is our website. It has all the links and all that for that.